So, I've got some recording to do. So I thought I'd just be here, in the void, recording. So if you're there, go ahead and let me know. And if you have questions, feel free to have any questions and I'll see if I can answer them. However, I have no water. Well, I'll get some water soon. So, the reason why I got recording to do is for the app. I've got a new section called Reflections. And they're going to be like mini bite-sized audios, hopefully every day, or every other day, or every few days, who knows. Breaking down big subjects into simplistic terms. And I think that's going to be very helpful. So if you're in the chat, go ahead and let me know. Or am I in the void by myself? Oh dear. At least my comment works. Okay, what one should we record first? Will it be root cause, keys to success, rich life, perception is projection, compound interest, stoicism, stoic, finding our why, protecting our dream, questions to get clear, why we don't need more information, the I'm broken myth. I didn't actually put myth, I'm gonna write myth. Unconscious steps of learning, we could do that one too. But I've already recorded for Starfish, the assumption, the axis of doing, being, big goals are daunting. Oh, look at that, it just changed. Oh, I disappeared. Other people's opinions are not your business, I've done that. Done finding your purpose. So let's just choose one. Let's keep it simplistic. Keys to success. Hey, Joseph here. Now today, in this reflection, we're going to be talking about the keys to success. In other words, what you need to do, the 5 steps which will set you free in achieving your goals in an undeniable way. So the first thing, as always, is knowing our outcome. Not our goal, but our outcome. Because goals can be hit and miss, but if we have an outcome, that is what we're after. Now the problem is, most people set their outcomes in a way that doesn't really serve them because they're too fearful. They're in a place of scarcity. They're in a place of a lack of goal, as in they don't have their goal. So therefore it's going to create this set of uneasiness. So as always then, we must decide and declare to choose our outcome in the positive. So go ahead and consider, what is your goal? What is your outcome? Whether it be very specific in a certain area of your life, or maybe it's a financial thing, a relationship thing, maybe it's a timed thing. But go ahead and just consider, what is your outcome, and always make sure it's positive. And the reason why I say that, if you think about a satellite GPS, what is the first thing you do? You turn it on, and then what? You put in your destination. Now, if you chose to put in the GPS, all the places you didn't want to go to, you're never going to get to where you want to be. So we must operate like the GPS, always have the destination in our mind, the positive outcome, the singular thing. And then we must take the second step, which is taking inspired action. Many people will think that just if they have a goal, like the wish fulfilled, the type of thinking where we just kind of hope and we're going to have faith, we're going to dream and all those kind of things and expect it to happen, like asking the universe. But ultimately, we've got to take the inspired action on our goals and dreams. So that is number 2, to take action. The next one is to have the behavioral flexibility, because there's going to be many things along the way which you'll try and it won't work out, and that's okay. We'll get to that in a minute. But the more that you start to adjust and adapt yourself, for there's no such thing as failure, just learning, it will allow you to be in a path of just growing. So, knowing our outcome, we take that massive inspired action. We're going to do different types of actions along the way, because doing the same thing over and over again is a definition of insanity, so they say. So we want to be able to really be adaptable, the ability to move, the ability to adjust, and allow ourselves to really kind of keep growing and learning. So that is really the flexibility in our behavior. Then, as we get that flexibility in our behavior, we want to be able to adjust the results along the way, to be able to notice the differences, to be able to model people, to see what's really happening. And then the last step is to operate from the psychology and physiology of excellence. And what I mean by that is we've got to become conscious of what we're feeling on the inside, to be conscious of the negative thoughts and limiting doubts that we have, the limiting beliefs we have. Because you can have all the goals and outcomes that you want. You could be taking massive inspired action. You could be adaptable in your resiliency. You could be aware of the results and keep on changing. But if you have a limiting belief about yourself or about the feasibility of the goal, you're going to start to self-sabotage yourself. So it's really, really important to monitor, what beliefs are we running beneath the surface? Now, if you need help with the beliefs, then you just go into the hypnosis section or the 4-hour sleep section in the app and try to figure out what is going to be the hypnosis session which is going to remove that limiting belief. Maybe we don't feel good enough or worthy, so we listen to the not good enough or not worthy hypnosis session in the day or at night. Maybe we have a lack of self-acceptance, so you listen to the self-acceptance one. But the whole idea of achieving your goals is to know your outcome, to take that massive inspired action, to have that the adaptability, the law of requisite variety, in other words, that resiliency, to then monitor our results, and then to have that psychology and physiology of excellence most of the time. And a little secret one is, if you think about your goal and outcome, consider the feeling it will give you, and that will be a good indication of what feeling you should be doing or trying to achieve most of the time. So that is the 5 steps of achieving your outcome. So that one will do. We'll use that in the new reflections. What else did I want to record? Got it. I don't know what's happening with my scenery. So let's, oh, I need to sign this one off. Okay, let's go actually into the same kind of theme of what I was just speaking about at the end. Let's go for it. Now, in today's reflection, I'm going to talk about whatever you desire, desires you to. Whatever you want, wants you to. Now, the reason why I really like those two sentences is because it allows us to be in tune with whatever we desire. You see, most of the time we focus on what we don't want because we don't have it. So therefore it builds up scarcity, it builds up that lack, that worry and doubt, is it ever going to happen? But if you think about that sentence again, whatever you desire, desires you too. So what that really means to me is, if I have a goal and outcome, I want to imagine in my mind how it would be to feel to receive it, to have it in its completion. And that's the key here, not along the way, not on the journey, but the completion of achieving your goal. And when you think about that goal or outcome, imagine stepping inside that you, looking through the eyes of who you've become, and having achieved that outcome, that goal, what would be your number one feeling? What's the number one feeling that would allow you to have the experience of achieving that goal? It could be freedom, it could be bliss, it could be excitement, it could be joy, it could be gratitude. What is that one feeling that you have when you think about achieving that desired outcome? And then, whatever that feeling is, it could be more than one, but usually it's going to be a majority, it's going to be mainly one, as in there's going to be more of a main feeling. And then your job is to focus on that feeling most of the time. You see, the feeling of having achieved whatever that desire is, isn't only existing within that outcome. Because let's say, for example, it was the gratitude. Well, you can experience gratitude in other things other than that outcome, right? So, what you want to do is try to think of all the other things that give you that feeling of gratitude if that was the main feeling of having achieved your goal. And the beauty of that is, number one, it removes a level of scarcity because you're feeling the feeling of completion, whether it was gratitude, whether it was something else. And then, as you have that feeling of gratitude in different things, it could be listening to a song that you absolutely love, it could be looking back at older pictures of experiences you've had. It could be just reflecting on your life, it could be being so grateful for the friends you have, or a partner, or a pet, and you want to just operate from that place. And not only does it remove that scarcity, but now you're operating from that frequency of your desire. And therefore, you are the energetic match to all that is that. Not only the outcome and the goal, but everything else that is good and great. So the good aspect of that is, we're now not only so focused on the goal, we're actually open to so many more things which we may not even be aware of. It's like taking off the blinkers. And then it allows you to be in tune. So remember, whatever you want today, whatever your outcome is, consider the end feeling of what it will allow you to experience. And then your job is to feel that feeling, express it as often as you can throughout the day. There's going to be some dips, of course. You're not always going to be in that state of gratitude because all feelings come and go, right? You can't always be at that top level. But as the watcher of your thoughts and the operator of your feelings, as you become conscious of those, then you absolutely will be more in line with that thing. So once again, the reflection on this episode is to assume the feeling, of the desired outcome, and then do whatever it takes to feel that feeling most of the time, so you're the energetic match for whatever you desire desires you to, whatever you want wants you to. And I'll speak to you soon on another reflection. Okay, that's another one done. Click that one off the list. Okay, let's do another easy peasy one. So if you're new here, I don't usually do this, but I'm working for a new section in the app, which is going to be called Reflections, and they're like 5 to 10 minute little clips. Bite-sized information, rather like long form. So I'm mixing up. We've got plenty of 25, 30 minute episodes in the free section. We've got over 1,000 or 2 hypnosis sessions. So the new update, I don't know, maybe I can bring it on the screen. I don't know where I last sent it on my computer, but there's going to be a part of the app called Reflections. Where is it? That's not it. That's not it. I don't, that's not it. I can't find it. But anyway, you can trust me, there is a new, that's not it either. So, these are going to be just little bite-sized information, and I thought, why not just go live and stream at the same time? So let's go for the third one. We've done the keys to success. We just did whatever you want wants you to. Let's go for the root cause. You ready? I've got to have a bit of space between these, by the way, so it's easier for editing. So embrace the silence. Hey, Joseph here. Now in today's reflection, we're talking about never to really work on the symptoms that you experience, and to do your very best in finding the hidden unconscious root cause of all your symptoms. You see, most people, most of the time, will try to fix or solve what they feel or experience most of the time. Right? I don't know, there's a lot of mosts there, but that is all true in a generalizing way. I mean, if you have a pain, you will immediately put your attention on that pain, right? To try to fix it. You wouldn't necessarily personally try to figure out what the cause of that pain was initially. You just kind of focus on the pain. And as humans, when it comes to our personal development, we tend to focus on what we feel or experience the most of the time. So you may go ahead and go, well, I'm feeling anxious, so I need to do something about my anxiety. And therefore you might, for some people, take medication. It could be for getting more sleep or whatever it is. You might listen to a hypnosis session on anxiety, which we've got within the app. Now, of course, that can absolutely work. But let's just say it's just a symptom in this scenario. And if we take the metaphor that bit further, imagine if you were feeling unwell one day. You go to a doctor, and then the doctor asks, most of the time, what are you experiencing? What are the symptoms that you're feeling? And you might go, doctor, I've got a sore throat, stomach ache, aches, pains, fever, shiver. Every time I move, it hurts. And sore throat, all those things. Now, if that doctor turned around to you and just said, hey, here's our plan of action. Take this one pill for the headache. Take this other pill for the sore throat. Take this other one for the ache. Take this one for the pains. Take this one for the stomach. Take this one for the fever. Take this one for the other symptom you said. I can't even remember what it was now because you had so many symptoms. And ultimately, just take these 10 pills every day, twice a day for the rest of your life to just manage those symptoms. Now, if you had that experience with a doctor, I sure hope you'd go. That's not the best way of being. So let's just say you say no and you go to another doctor. Now, the doctor asks the same question, what are your symptoms? And you go, I've got a headache, sore throat, stomach ache, aches, pains, fever, shiver, all those things that really, really hurt right now, doctor. Now that good doctor this time goes, based on what you've told me, all of those symptoms means fill in the blank, and it could be, say, a bacterial infection. Therefore, the doctor will go, take this one pill, antibiotics, 2 or 3 times a day, but only for the next 5 days. And guess what will happen? Not only will the bacterial infection disappear, but all the symptoms will go as well, because they were only being in existence as a signal to you that something's wrong, leading you to the bacterial infection. So that makes sense, right? You go to a doctor, you tell the symptoms, and it's up to them to diagnose what the cause of the symptoms is. But we rarely ever do that when it comes to our psychology. So, with that in mind, it's always important to notice what you feel so we don't dismiss it. But if we want to ask deeper questions, are there limiting beliefs about myself which is creating the anxiety, creating the self-sabotage? And that might be the root cause of so many things. It could be then the root cause solver, once you found it and solved it, your relationships transform. Because you're now not having anxiety, you're feeling good, you've got great connections. Now you're not self-sabotaging because of the anxiety, because you solved the root cause. So if it's in this reflection, the whole key here is to try your very best to operate like a doctor. What is the root cause of my symptoms? Be conscious of the symptoms, and they should lead back to the cause. Now, and this is a quick reflection, but then once you've got that information, you can use any of the hypnosis sessions to then begin to let it go. Or you might need to reach out with a specialist. It could be by myself, and you can go to josephclough.info/talk. But ultimately, whatever it is, have that in mind. Don't work on symptoms, become aware of them, but allow yourself to find the root cause of the symptoms. Operate like the good doctor. That's what I do with all my clients. Find the root cause, and then everything will have to change. I look forward to speaking to you on a future reflection. Okay, that's another one done. Is anyone here? Here's what happens when you don't schedule things. Well, this is 5 of you. 5 of you are watching out there. What else shall we record? Oh, I like this topic. So far, just so you're new here, if you just got it here even, I'm working for a new section within the app called Reflections. Bite-sized information which you can digest very, very quickly and easily. I got my little boy Sebastian next to me, the bass boy, the bee boy. I got Mr. C, the cat, next to me as well. Leave a comment if you want me to answer a question of yours. But as I was saying, we've got a new section in the app called Reflections. Bite-sized information will hopefully give you thought-provoking ideas, but also solutions. And so far, we just recorded the root cause, not the symptoms. We recorded keys to success, which I wasn't happy with. I might have to do that one again. And we recorded... I don't know, we recorded another one as well. We've done 3 already. And before today... Oh, what you want wants you to. That's what we just did before the one right now. How's your Saturday going, everybody? Keep me company while I work. So these bite-sized ones will go within the app, which we're having a huge update hopefully in the next week or 2. Let's go for responsibility, one of my favorite subjects. I'm not timing this. I should really be timing because I want them under 10 minutes to 7 minutes. Timer. Actually, I'm going to hydrate real quickly. I need to get some water. Give me a minute and then we'll start again. And I'm back. So we'll start in a few moments. I need a bit of silence for the post-editing, so try to be quiet wherever you are. Welcome back to another reflection, and in this let me start that one again. Always learn from those little hiccups. Hey, Joseph here. Welcome back to another reflection, and in this reflection we're talking about taking responsibility. Now, this subject is my favorite one, but it's also a very thought-provoking, pushing up your boundaries kind of topic at the exact same time. Because when we say take responsibility, it takes a lot of ownership on us. And of course, there's been lots of things in our life which have happened to us by other people or by situations, which allows us to be a victim, right? So things happen in the world, and yes, we will feel like a victim. However, although things happen to us, I firmly believe we have to take responsibility for where we are and what we do right now. That does not give away any excuses to anyone who may have wronged you. In fact, you're being an example of not allowing that personal situation to keep you down ultimately. So it can be a very empowering thing once we start to assume responsibility for who we are and where we're heading. So with that, let's break it down a little bit. You see, if we go through situations, we're going to have reasons, and sometimes I go a little bit harder and say excuses to stay the same. Now with that, if we have reasons to stay the same, whether we blame a person or blame the economy or blame a situation, it's going to hold us back. It's almost like we're pushing all our freedom and ability beyond ourselves. We're just saying, no, I cannot do it. I'm on the effect side of life. But effects will actually cause us to have a long, unhappy life compared to the temporary, when we take responsibility, pain of assuming responsibility. So yes, we can choose to live on the effect side of life, and it may make us feel temporarily good because it takes the burden off us. We're saying it's not my fault. But when we have those reasons and excuses, we'll start to unconsciously look for more, which is very debilitating. You will begin to kind of find more reasons to stay the same. And that just confirms your unconscious mind to stay the same. It's almost as if, let's say for example, for whatever reason, someone cannot work. And if they cannot work, maybe the government gives them some money, maybe our friends and family help us, maybe we have carers, or maybe we have friends to look out for us. We can't work and all those kind of things. We'll have reasons to stay the same, and therefore we also get help from people. So there's a level of comfort in being on the effect side, because people are helping it. We're getting money maybe from the government. So therefore, it feels familiar. It feels like it's okay to be that way. However, that's not going to be the happiest way, because we're, once again, and I'm doing this physically now, like you're pushing everything beyond yourself. And that will look for more reasons to stay the same. So if we think of the cause and effect equation, if we're living on the effect, which is the the victim or the excuses or the reasons to stay the same and looking for more, well, the other side is the cause, which to me is assumption of responsibility. And I'm going to be very, very clear. I'm not saying it lets off other people. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You're actually refusing to be defined by the person who wronged you. You're refusing to allow your identity to be defined by the experiences that you went through. So assumption of responsibility is actually the most empowering thing that you can actually do in your life, because it means that you have grasped control of everything and going, not today, I'm going to start to live my life the way that I want to. So the assumption of responsibility is going to allow you the freedom that you desire. But what are the next steps of assumption of responsibility? Well, to me, it's like using hypnosis. It is using, say, my app at freehypnosis.app. And it's really about doing the work that no one sees, doing the quiet work. It's like every day, if I were you, I'd be listening to a hypnosis session every evening as you go to sleep. Or if you don't listen to it sleep, listen to it every day at a day hypnosis session. Because that is reprogramming your mind to be off on the equation of the effect side and actually get onto the causation side of freedom. As I said, the being on the effect does take the heat off ourselves, so there is a level of comfort. But that being on the effect side for the rest of our life is actually the most limiting aspects of our life, because it takes away our power of choice and to live. So to assume the responsibility by moving from the effect side of the equation to the causation of the effects, so you're now taking responsibility for your state of mind. You are now having the freedom. It could be a little bit painful in the beginning. It's a big decision to make, to say, wow, I'm going to now take responsibility for my life. But when I do take my responsibility, now I'm back in control. Now I can start to do things. Now I can start to get in rapport with my unconscious mind using hypnosis. So remember, do not be a product of life. Allow life to be a product of what you choose to create, to assume responsibility. In fact, I have a hypnosis session on responsibility if you need help with that, and it is in the hypnosis library, and on top of that, you the 4-hour sleep section. If it's not there, it's coming out very, very soon. So I look forward to speaking to you on a future reflection, but assume that responsibility and have the freedom. Discipline creates freedom. Okay, that was another recording done. Totally forgot to click the start button on my timer, so hopefully it was under 10 minutes. So now we've recorded assumption of responsibility, what we wants you to. We've also done keys to success. We've also done another one as well. I might do, how long have I been streaming for? 40 minutes, oh my goodness. What should I do now? If you're out there, feel free to ask a question if you want to answer me to have blah blah. If you want me to answer anything, because I see that you're watching, I can see it, but no chatting. Just larking. But just to remind you, my app is going for a huge update. There's going to be a new section called Reflections. I haven't told anyone what it's about until now, because I'm recording the content for it right now. And the Reflections are 5 to 10 minute audios, bite-sized information that you can just kind of dip into as and when you want. I want to make it daily, but that's a lot of work for me to do. So I'm trying to pre-record as many as possible. I've recorded so far, I've done a lot of this offline. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've done 10, so that's not a lot. But we're getting there. It'd be nice to have like 365 done. Some just saved for the year. But yeah, they're going to be going into the new version of the app coming out pretty soon. Oh, I forgot to tick it off the list. So make that 11. Nope, just me. So what one should I record now? And if you got a subject, I can always do that too. I've got a list I created. What one should I do? I really like the subject that belief is the enemy of knowing. Maybe we'll record that one next. Also got one called Protect Your Dream. Hey, look at that, we got someone here. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there we go. Great to have you here. All the way from Germany. It's your bedtime. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. How you doing? So yeah, I'm just recording little bite-sized information for the new version of the app. So I thought I'd just go live and do it. In the void. Let me hydrate. I need to fix this void. I wanted that one to stay there for a lot longer, but the picture switches off. So great to have you here. I know we've got more watchers, but we've got our first commenter. Jay Dougal, is it? From Germany. That's crazy. Do you want to... Let's do a quick test, right? So I can see the viewers of some of my podcast people live. So we've got people in... Let's list off some countries before we work again. We got Brisbane. We got Sydney. Look at that. Zach's here as well. I was just saying, we got 2 people on the podcast. Actually not from Melbourne. We've got Brisbane, Sydney, and Adelaide. 2 in each, or in all 3 of them. We got Indonesia. We got Bologna in Italy. Germany. Essen in Germany? No, was that Germany? The Netherlands. We got lots of people in London listening to me right now. One in Corby. Evesham, Glasgow, Dublin. What about across the pond over in America? We got Washington, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Batcliffe near Houston, it says. Got LA. We got Oakland. So they're the countries or states we got around the world at the moment. And what's this place? Jakarta. Or a place in Jakarta called Jati Angin. And also Denpasar. But I hope you're having fun walking your pup. I just got back before I went live walking little Sebastian. I've got him today. I wonder if I can get him on camera, actually. I don't know if it's worked, because my lighting is probably way off. Should we see if we can get him on camera? This might not work at all, so I might do a quick switch. There we go. So I'm not on camera, because I'm sitting down. It is all back. Let me try to do it manually. Oh, wrong way. There he is. There's my little Sebastian. Oh, we've gone streaming for so long, my music stopped. Let's do some other hypnosis. What music was I doing? I will keep it to this music and do it in post-production. But that's my little boy listening to me record. But let's get back to the void. Where's the void? There we go. So, if you're new here, I'm just walking. If you just got here. For a new section on the app. Five to 10 minute audios, just to give you like bits of pieces of information whenever you need it. So what subject should I do next? Oh, I was going to do this one. We'll call this one actually Perception is Projection. That's a lot better than my original one, which was Communication Model. So let's do Perception is Projection. I'm going to use a timer this time. So I need just a silence so I can break it up on the editing, and then I'll get into it. Welcome back to another reflection. My name is Joseph Clough, and in the next 5-10 minutes or so, we're going to be talking about perception is projection. Now, what do we mean by our perception is our projection? Well, imagine this. We take in the world for our 5 senses. For our sight, for our hearing, for our smell, for our taste, from touch. So therefore, we're taking all this information. Now, I don't quite know or remember the exact numbers, but they kind of pretty much says billions of bits of information per second. How they come to that, I have zero idea. But let's just say that's true. We're taking a ton of information through, and our unconscious mind has to break that information down into things that are important to us. It's almost like it's trying to decipher, it's trying to filter based on what we need to know. So imagine taking all that information through our 5 senses, our brain will delete, distort, and generalize that information to try to make sense of the world. And it will do so through certain things. It could be, for example, if you have a belief about yourself. Let's just say you don't feel good enough. Well, if you don't feel good enough, there may be an opportunity, but you'll delete that out of your mind, or you'll distort the situation and just go, there's no way I'm going to fail. Or you may generalize and go, do you know what? I've tried so many times and I never ever get to a place of feeling enough, that you then begin to stop. Even to the point where your brain can actually delete information. It's almost like when you've lost your keys, you keep saying to yourself, I cannot find my keys. I've lost them, I've lost them, I lost them. And then eventually they appear in the exact place that you were looking, but because you were hypnotizing yourself to say, I have lost my keys, it was programming the unconscious mind to not see it. So, if we are deleting, distorting, and generalizing based on our belief systems, that's going to change how you see the world around you. And we know that to be true because beliefs make up the world. They can divide nations, they can divide politics. So the certain belief you have about one political party may even cause you to have some confirmation bias. You might disregard any good in the other party because we're all on this other team. It's human nature to have these confirmation bias because we're trying to confirm what we've experienced or know to be true. So we will then distort our reality. We'll delete it and we'll generalize it. If we talk just about each one of those, so if we go with generalizations. Generalizations are usually based on our own human experience. So if I go for a job interview and I fail, go to another one, don't get the job, go to another one, have some anxiety, don't get the job, what am I going to expect on the fourth and the fifth interview? I'm going to probably expect and generalize I'm not going to get that job. So we know experiences will have an effect on how we perceive the world around us. So we're seeing subjectively and not objectively based on the beliefs that we have. If we think of, say, so we got the deletion, which we kind of talked about. Let's talk about distortion. That's what I was looking for. I was deleting out my mind for a moment. So if we take the act of, say, anorexia. Now, the person who experiences anorexia can look in the mirror and see something looking back at them as being overweight or ugly. Yet, they could be told by the doctor that you're actually on a real bad path. It could be a real bad situation if we don't eat food. But the mind is distorting their self-image over reality to be able to have that disorder. So that's a great example of how we can really change how we see reality. And once again, that could be a limiting belief. It could be because of past experiences which led to decisions that we made about ourselves or the world. Very much like the interview one. I might on the fifth interview go, that's it, I'm never, a generalization, never going to get a job. And that's going to create anxiety. Maybe you had a bad breakup and you might go, well, men or women always cheat. Not worth my time. So you're having that projection. So whatever you perceive to be true. Now, there are other filters as well, by the way. I won't go into them all deeply because beliefs are going to be the main one. The other big main one is our values that we have. If we have a high value for money, we're going to be more motivated for money, or if we've got a lot of scarcity around it, we're going to project a lot of scarcity around money and abundance. We've also got, like I said, the decisions that we make, which can lead to beliefs. It could be a decision for panic attacks. It could be a decision for dis-ease of the body. If we're under enough stress, it breaks a chain of good health. We've also got our memories. So if you have the 5 experiences of not getting the job, that will be in our mind. Every time we go into a future one, we bring that baggage in. So if we've had bad memories of our job interviews or bad memories of a partner, relationship, in business, in career, with money, we bring all that data into the present moment and project it outside in that subjective view. And once we start to delete, distort, and generalize based on our beliefs, our values, the decisions we make, the values that we have, the memories that we've had, in other words, just our past, and there's a few other ones in there which we won't go into, it will cause you to see the world, to cause you to be able to have a state of mind, right? So your emotional states, so it could be anxiety, it could be fear, it could be then the physiological side of us. So we actually physically operate and act to that inner world of ourselves, which leads out to the actions that we take. So in other words, our perception, we take all that information from the external world through our 5 senses, we try to internalize, delete, distort, and generalize it, and therefore we then project it in our mind, which has an effect on our physiology and our state of our mind, on our thinking, in other words, and therefore how we act and react. So that is why perception is our projection. But here's the real cool thing though, because that's a bit doom and gloom, right? What if one belief changed? Let's say the belief of I'm not good enough suddenly goes into I am enough. How would you see the world differently? Would you go for those opportunities? Would you charge what you're worth? Would you go into that relationship knowing you are worthy and good enough of doing so? It changes your whole reality. So just changing one belief will change how you see yourself and the world. It will undo or get more clarity. We'll no longer need to generalize. And if we are generalizing, we're doing it in a positive way, that every day is going to be a great day in known and unknown ways because I know I'm good enough and worthy. If you change just one memory of trauma so that energetic feeling's not there, you will not bring that baggage in because you've learned from it unconsciously. If you let go of a limiting decision within the mind and the body, you will now see the world differently. So that is our perception, is our projection. Whatever we perceive to be true is true for us. And everyone is operating throughout their own reality filters. I think, was it Robert Anton Wilson said that? Like these, it actually went in the Steve Jobs movie as well, of the reality filtering system. And it's all unique to us. But the good news is, with hypnosis, what are we doing? We're working on those filters. We're working on undoing limiting beliefs. We're looking at resolving emotion and learning from the past. So that means when you listen to my hypnosis, whether it be in the day or the sleep ones, you are conditioning your mind to go from that real subjective confusion, confirmation bias of stress and past significant emotional events and limiting beliefs, to undo that and then see the world in a clearer way, based on learnings, based on wisdom, based on clarity. And therefore, your psychology is positive, your physiology is powerful, and you are taking massive and inspired action. So remember, our perception is our projection, but you can change those inner filters using the hypnosis within the app. So go into the hypnosis library and choose which is going to feel really good for you. I look forward to speaking to you on a future reflection. Many thanks and goodbye. That's another reflection done. I need to have these quiet silences so I can do it in post-production. I can know where to cut and things. So if you're new here, I'm just walking in the void, creating new content for the app, a new section of the app. And by the way, that last one was 9 minutes and 44 seconds. That was good, under 10 minutes. Hey, Cheryl, great to have you here. I am doing wonderful. I don't know what's happening with my chats. And thanks, Zach, for becoming a member, supporting the channel. Appreciate that. There's my first in the void stream, and otherwise I'm not on camera, but I'm just walking. And as I was saying, these are 5 to 10 minute audios, which will be going into the new section of the app called Reflections, which you can just easily digest to give you like a little bit of motivation, a bit of understanding. So far today, we've recorded not to work on your root cause, what you want wants you to, responsibility over excuse and reasons, keys to success, perception is projection. And I think that's it. I think we're doing good. And I've been streaming for 60 minutes now. I need to get something to eat. It's 5:30 where I am. I need to get some dinner. So yeah, I actually wrote down these reflections, these short audios, which will go into the app once I edit them, are short audios to help you be more mindful in your daily life and also give you tips on how to resolve problems or what audios to use to then solve them. So maybe we'll do 1 or 2 more. If you have questions along the way, just feel free to put it in the chat. But we're doing good. Walking on a Saturday evening, by choice. What a life. Alright, what else should we record? The sum of 5. Belief is the enemy of knowing. Rich life, like 5 steps to a rich life, which I'd have to refresh my mind. What else could we do? The I'm broken myth. Questions to get clear. Okay. What one shall I do next? We've got unconscious steps of learning. I like that one. And I've got to feed Sebastian soon as well. But he's dreaming away. Let's see if we can get him back on camera. Look at him dream away. He is actually asleep. His head is down. It doesn't look like it. But look, his little feet run. No, he's running. I can't zoom in any further though. But that is as far as we go. Makes you wonder what they're dreaming about, doesn't it? Thank you, Cheryl. Very, very kind. Yeah, I like to help people. And I'm very conscious my energy is very different when I'm not on camera. I get a bit more relaxed, less energy. Well, not less energy, but less animative. Just dreaming away. But with that, back in the void we go. So next subject. If you just tuned in, I've said this a billion times already, but I'm recording content for a new section in the app called Reflections. It's bite-sized, small audios, so hopefully give you some insights and tips. Also, what sessions to listen to if one of the titles of the subjects is going to be good. So far, I've recorded about 13 or 14 in total. So yeah. And I've got 0 notes, by the way, so I'm doing this all on the fly. Actually, that's a lie. I've got 1 note for this next one, because there's 5 things I've got to remember to say. Okay, so I'm going to hydrate, have a bit of silence so I know when to edit on the post-production, and then I'll get into the next reflection, and we'll do Living a Rich Life. Welcome back to another reflection. Now, in this reflection, we're going to be talking about living a rich life. There's going to be 5 points I'm going to initially talk about. We may add another one there, who knows, but there's a general idea of how you can live a wonderful, rich life. So, when I say rich, I don't necessarily mean has to be financial. It can be, and I believe it should almost be included, but living a rich life is having rich relationships, rich friendships, rich work life, an abundance of happiness. It doesn't have to be monetary. So with that, let's get to it. When I think about living a rich life, I really think about doing what you want, not from a selfish point of view, but to try to look for more things in which you enjoy. And this could actually be included as a profession, as an ideal. And the reason why I say that is because most people will work 7 or 8 hours per day working. So wouldn't it be better to do something what you really like? I know many people, actually taught many of them, people who wanted to become practitioners. So I teach them to do what I do so they can actually help people. But whatever it is, we want to include more of that lifestyle of doing what you want. And that's not to the effect of others. Because when we think do what you want, it's got to be pure. It's got to be not negative. And I really mean when I think, and if we include the next one coming up as well, some of them coming up, it will kind of prove why it is a very wholesome thing when we go into do what you want. But have that in your mind. The first one is doing what you want most of the time. In other words, the things that you enjoy, the things which give you passion and purpose. And if you need help with that, I actually have an audio for finding your purpose. And it's in the free section of the hypnosis session. The free section of the app. And also I have Find Your Purpose hypnosis session in the day and in night form as well. Because having purpose is going to be really, really important in doing what you want. There's a passion there. There's a mission, maybe there's an ambition. But that is the first thing I like to think about when living a rich life. I want to do things that excite me, things that I enjoy, like what I'm doing right now. I love speaking. I love helping people. Then the other thing, I believe that we should be rewarded magnificently for doing and living that rich life. Now, once again, I'm not talking about just financially. Surely enjoyment and satisfaction and achievement is being rewarded. If I help someone, for example, that makes me feel so good. So being rewarded magnificently, yes, it can be financial, and I've no negatives around money, because money can help your family. Money can be able to provide a legacy for your future family. Family can actually allow you to change your community, or if you're a part of a church, to donate to charities. So money is good. It's just how you use it, right? I like to think money just expands the qualities of the person that are already present. I like to think you're a good person, so if money is good and coming to you, you'll be able to use it wisely. It will give us security. So yes, being rewarded magnificently financially, absolutely. But it doesn't necessarily mean just that when living a rich life. It means rewarded in emotion, in satisfaction, in peace, in tranquility, in passion and purpose. It means in wholeness, in beingness. That's a rich life, right? Waking up every single day with less and less stress is a rich life. Waking up with tranquility and peace and wholeness, that is a rewarding life of absolutely magnificence. So yeah, being rewarded magnificently can really go across the board, not just monetary. The next one, we've done do what you want most of the time, the things that you enjoy, being rewarded magnificently. Then we want to have that attitude of gratitude, because gratitude is richness. That's what it really is. You're just grateful for what you have. And I like to expand upon it, to have grateful for what you have in your experience. It could be the things, in other words, and it can also be the people. The next level of gratitude is gratitude for self, in other words, your qualities, your traits, your values. And on top of that, gratitude, which I really love, for what is heading your way. You see, if you're in an attitude of gratitude for all the things you have and the people in your life, as well as the gratitude for who you are, and then having the gratitude for what is coming your way, that is living a rich life. So try to put your attention each and every day on those three things. For what you have, for who you are, and what is coming your way. Now, if we are doing what we want and we're being rewarded magnificently and we have that attitude of gratitude, the next level, combining all those, is to pay it forward, right? This rich life that we have shouldn't just be contained for ourselves. I like to think it should be bigger than ourselves. So we want to be able to use the richness, whether it be monetary to help people, whether it be just in our personality in serving our fellow man or woman, fellow person. We want to be able to just help people. And when you pay it forward, if you don't know what it means to pay it forward, by the way, there's a movie called pay it forward, but it's just acts of kindness without wanting anything in return. Usually it would be for like a stranger. You don't know if you've seen it, but like you could be in like a Starbucks drive-through and you just kind of say, I'm going to pay for the next customer behind me. And then you drive off. You've done something good, you paid it forward, and then they get the surprise of not having to pay for their Starbucks. That kind of thing. So if you're just doing selfless acts, and when I say selfless, it's actually kind of selfish in a way, in a good way, because it makes you feel so good, but you get to pay it forward, and it means you're really helping and serving others. And that leads into the last one, which is a combination of all of these things. And this is why I like to think living a rich life is very wholesome, because you're doing what you love, you're being rewarded magnificently in monetary or not, or both. You've got that attitude of gratitude for who you have in your life and what you have, for who you are and for what is heading your way. You're just open with gratitude and you cannot wait for your great day. You're paying it forward, which just doubles and increases it and serves our fellow people. And then the last one, which is contribution. Contributing to society. I always like the word contribution because it fills and falls into the line of ecology. Good for self, good for others, and good for the world. If we all made decisions every single day to do good for self, which is like doing what you want, but good for others, which is like paying it forward, and doing good in the world, which is the contribution that we're leaving an impact. The other thing I love as a sentence is leave the world in a better place than you found it. That's a level of contribution. That's going to give us the rich life. Now, the contribution, like doing what you want, can be in different ways. But like paying it forward can be in different ways. Like the way I see contribution for myself personally is creating as many free or affordable work as possible for as many people as possible in the most happy way and the most joyful way. That's my intention. That's going to hopefully be something that I'm going to be proud of as a legacy of contribution. It could be on a bigger scale than that, but contribution is just being a good human. Being a good human. Serving and helping those who need it the most. And if you start to do what you want in that pure, joyful way, being rewarded magnificently in monetary or non-monetary, because it could be those states of emotions, the attitude of gratitude for what you have, who you are, and where you're heading, and what is coming your way, to pay it forward and to contribute, to me, that is living a rich life. So I hope you enjoyed that reflection, and I look forward to speaking to you on a future one. Go ahead and live a rich life. I'll speak to you soon. Okay, that was another reflection done. A rich life. Thank you, Cheryl, for your kind words. So now we've recorded quite a few. And I've been streaming for 75 minutes. Streaming while I work. On a Saturday evening at 5:45 p.m. And I haven't had dinner yet. So maybe I should stop. But if you want me to keep do some streams like this, and by the way, you can always ask questions. All questions are good questions as long as they're good questions. And the bad questions are the ones which were never asked. But I might leave it for today, but I might come back tomorrow. I might not. But we've been very productive. And just to say, for the last time, I've been recording 5 to 10 minute audios on different subjects, which will be going into a new aspect of my app, a new category, you could say, a new section, called Reflections. 5 to 10 minutes of different subjects, 5 to 10 minutes, just like bite-sized information you can absorb on the way to work, getting ready in the morning, cooking your dinner, which I need to do, and also then leading you to a maybe what hypnosis session if it's relatable. Oh my goodness, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, you go to sleep. Just go ahead and get yourself in a nice, comfortable position. I just realized I haven't had any audio feedback. Usually I hear my own voice. So I need to reroute my audio. I need to remember to do that. And the reason why I do that, by the way, yeah, I need to do that, is when I'm speaking, I'm also monitoring sound levels, room noise, my voice while I'm speaking. And I haven't done it the whole time because I wired it through my speakers this time rather through my audio interface. Oh dear. So you might hear some feedback. We'll leave it. I'm ending the stream in a minute anyway. Okay, everybody. I need to go. I need to cook some dinner for me and the boys. So we did well. We recorded about 6. So you can say goodnight to a little boy, Sebastiano. Where is he? He's here. I'm not on camera because I'm sitting down. You have a good rest of your day, Cheryl. Thank you. I need to set up a hotkey for my Void as well. My Void stream. Rather scrolling. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Very, very kind. And yeah. I'm going to put this end stream. End stream? I'm going to put this on now. So there's a random stream. I might even delete this afterwards because I'm just working. But, and it's meant to be a secret, by the way, but I go live on Mondays and Fridays. I've set them up already today. Monday's going to be a power talk. Friday is going to be a hypnosis session on, I cannot remember, although I've only decided today. So we'll see. So with that, my friends, I'll speak to you all soon. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Many thanks and goodbye.